Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of SnowRunner. You join me today in the banana barge with nice shiny new tyres on it. We did upgrade this ever so slightly, and as you can see we have some concrete blocks on the back because we are going to do one of the bigger missions. We're going to do Cargopocalypse, which is quite a weird word to say, but this is Cargopocalypse part 1, and first thing we're going to do is get these concrete blocks delivered across the mountain river, which seems easy enough. Now we still don't have all-wheel drive for this truck. There was multiple options. I did think about using the Derry Longhorn with the super heavy trailer on it, because the large pipes take up 4 cargo slots. I also thought about potentially using the Royal BM with a trailer that has 4 cargo slots on it, and then I remembered I have the banana barge. It can do that. It would be nice if it could take a trailer, but it's okay that it can't. I don't really mind that too terribly much. And now with the off-road tyres on it as well, it's quite a good bit more capable than it was. Got a little bit damaged on the way to loading up, nothing excessively. We can't put snow chains on this truck until I believe level 14, and we're just not quite there yet, so we will have to make do without the snow chains for the time being. But 4-wheel drive would definitely be something I'd like to get, but I don't necessarily want to just go and get it. I'd like to get it sort of in the process of completing the game. Because that is, of course, the ultimate goal is to complete this game in its entirety, but we are a long way away from that. But with every contract we do, we get a step closer, and this is one of the bigger contracts. It's not the biggest contract that we'll be doing for GR Enterprises, but it's one of 3 large contracts. Here we are, let's travel across the mountain river. It's been a little while since we've been here, a good few episodes. We've been focused on the down at the aerodrome, getting those bits and pieces done, but here we are here, and getting into this warehouse is going to be interesting because I don't really know how to do it. I think it's there. I could be wrong. Very well could be there. We will just have to wait and see. So from here we want to go round to the left and then take the third right. It's going to be an interesting challenge, at least, because it doesn't appear like there is even a track 2 there. So hopefully we can make it there with the big banana barge. If not, we're going to have some difficulty getting those pipes down here, so we'll have to see how we get on with that. I know I can get pipes from the area that we've just came from, but I want to see if there is anywhere else I can get them from. So this will be the track we take here. The challenge, of course, with the banana barge is just its sheer size when it comes to maneuvering around corners, as you can see. Also doesn't help that we don't have that all-wheel drive, especially when we're doing terrain like this. That clearing that I've seen is not happening, although I don't have any idea how to get there. This is where a scout vehicle would come in handy. But of course we don't have one of those right now. But that is a good bit down the hill there. So let's reverse our way out of here. Of course we're going to need to face the right direction. I definitely think getting the pipes down there is going to be really quite difficult. I don't see a way down from here. We'll just have to sort of explore until we find a way in. This seems somewhat promising, although it is going further down the hill than I really want to. It's possible that there is a track up to that warehouse from here. It would definitely appear that way anyway. Go low range and diff lock because something's holding me back there. None of the wheels were spinning though. So yeah, getting the pipes is going to be challenging because that is going to be 3 runs, but this contract is worth an absolute fortune, so it's definitely worth it. Let's just do a little bit of light deforestation. There's a scout fuel carrier there. Let's see, by chance can we get large pipes here? No, we can't. Let's have a look at the contract and see what it says. It's this one here, we need large pipes, and it's telling me to go to Northport. Which, of course, that would be behind me. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll find out where the pipes come from. Helps if I'm not still in low range, of course. And like I said, we've got 3 loads of them to do. That's some kind of timed task there. So pull myself out of that river, and I'll see you guys when we get to Northport and find these large pipes. Okay, so here we are with the large pipe, and I'll just show you where we are. We're at the factory, which is just here in Northport. And you might notice in the top right hand corner, I've already delivered 2 of these, and I'm actually on my 4th tank of diesel, which is insane. Time wise, I've been recording for an hour now. Obviously the video will not be anywhere near that long, but if this is a job that you're looking to do yourself, just bear in mind it is a bit of a long-winded one. But this is the final pipe to go. We shouldn't need to get fuel again on this round, but kinda, well, I'm used to the route now because this is the 3rd time doing this exact route. I'm sure there's a more efficient way of doing this. I know that with the likes of modded trucks and things like that, you can take multiple cargo of this size at once, but we're not using modded trucks in this playthrough. Although I do desperately now want the all-wheel drive for this truck. It is painful seeing those back wheels spin up and the front wheels just tootling along as if they're not doing anything at all. But the road itself isn't particularly challenging. There's a couple of sections like this where you're a bit slower, but overall the track is fine. And it's perfectly capable of this truck going along it. It's not much of a challenge at all. It is just a bit of an endurance one, this one. We've got some interesting terrain to go across, but given that this is Northport, the terrain isn't too terribly bad. So even here, where we're driving through the edge of this rather large lake, it's not even particularly muddy, in all fairness. And even with our rear-wheel drive banana barge, it's handling it absolutely no problem at all. A couple of sections where we have a little bit of a power issue with this truck, but other than that, that's it really. It's very, very simple, very straightforward. There is one weird little bit that you have to do. There's probably an alternative way of doing it, but I'll show you when we get there how I've been handling that particular situation a little bit further along the road here. But see, this is as bad as it gets. It just gets a little bit bogged down on the hills with the snow, but it does keep going. I've not had to use my winch at all, so that just tells you how easy this is. But of course, very, very time consuming. And let's not tip over though, that would suck. I've not had any issues like that before now, so if that was to happen now, it would be quite irritating. But the pipes don't seem to be particularly heavy, in all honesty. The truck characteristics are much and such the same as when it's empty. Slightly slower on the hills, but not by much at all. Here's another section here where we're driving through. I suppose this would be the river that feeds it into the lake that we were driving through earlier. And again, it's not terrible. It is muddy, and we do have good tyres on this truck. It might be the tyres that make all the difference, but I'm not really finding much in the way of a challenge here at all. Other than the usual challenge of the fact that this particular truck has the same turning radius as a spaceship, but that's going to happen. I've driven it that much in this episode that I'm actually kind of used to it now. I don't find that particularly difficult at all. Just kind of accept it for the way it is, but that kind of shows in the damage on the bottom left. I haven't repaired this truck at all in this episode, and there's been a couple of little bumps here and there where I've hit trees and the likes, but nothing that's destroyed the truck. All of our tyres are still intact, and well, our engine hasn't blown up. It takes about, for each one of these loads back and forth, it's taken between 15 and 20 minutes. Also, this will be slightly less because we're only really going one way. This is the final pipe to deliver for this contract. Now, I do happen to know this contract is worth a small fortune, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. And once we get to the tunnel, we're most of the way there at that point. The delivery point is not far from the tunnel at all. little section here that's a little bit more road-like as well, which is nice. And we go straight back into the mud over here. Moose crossing sign there. I don't think there is any like wildlife in this game. It would be nice to see that, but I don't think there is any. I'm sure there'll be a mod to add it in, but like I said earlier, this is sort of like a, not quite a base game because we're running some DLCs, but it's an unmodded playthrough. This corner here is really the only challenging corner. So if you come all the way over here to these rocks and then full lock, it still doesn't make the corner. That is the enormous turning radius of this truck. Most other trucks would make that corner no problem. It's just this one being so long that it has a little bit of difficulty there. And the only other challenging thing is if you knock one of these rocks here, that rock there, if you knock it coming down the hill, it can be a bit of a pain to get back up the hill. But other than that, it's no problem at all. Where it was sitting there is where it's actually meant to be. As you can see, as long as you don't catch it with your front wheels, you're absolutely fine. You can see just how much fuel this truck goes through now as well. Let's travel across to Mountain River for the final time in this episode. I've seen this splash screen, well, at least 3 times. Now this is the bit that's a little bit different. So what I like to do is come down here and swing over here to the left, quite far up here, and then reverse across the bridge. Which might seem really weird, but you'll see why once we get to the other side of the bridge. But reversing across here, I've found, is a lot easier. Stack's shaking as the engine rumbles along there. Well, this is the first time I've done a contract that involves this much reversing. But once we get to this side, I just want to turn up the hill slightly and then head down here, because there is absolutely no way at all that this truck will make that corner without doing like 16 turns, and there's not enough room to really get that done. So I found the reverse along the bridge tactic, in my opinion, is the best one. But if you have a better tactic, let me know in the comments down below. And this is exactly the same as where we delivered the concrete blocks. And the only thing that I do slightly different now is I take a little bit of a shortcut at the top of the hill here. Just as I get to the top here, as you can see by the tracks in the snow, I swing a left. There's meant to be a fence all the way along there, but I've driven through it repeatedly. Here we are. Task complete. And with that, we get $23,600, 2,380 XP, and we're now up to $87,000, which is not a small amount of money. But now that that one's done, that contract unlocks Cargopocalypse Part 2, where we have to deliver 8 bricks, which we can get from here, 4 concrete slabs, which we can also get from here, to White Valley, which, if we have a look at the cargo management, bricks take up 1 slot, concrete slabs take up 2, I think it was the concrete slabs we were to deliver. Yeah, 4 concrete slabs, so 2 trips for the slabs and 2 trips for the bricks. And I mean, in reality, that's not bad. Let's have a look. If I what am I doing? Global map, and then I want to go to White Valley, and then Cargopocalypse Part 2 delivered to that warehouse. So that's going to be the challenging part. Is there is a shortcut that you can go along here. It's perfectly doable in one of the small trucks like the Royal BM, but to do it with that way would take many trips. Well, it would take 4 trips for the slabs and 4 trips for the bricks, which is more than a couple. But with the longer truck, you can come all the way down here along this road, cut across here, back up here, and along this road. That is always an option as well, but that is not a problem for today. If I can get all the way out of the map, because that is all we have time for today. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed that episode. If you have, don't forget to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, you can of course subscribe, and as always you can hit that bell icon. That notifies you of all future uploads, and you can also join me over on Discord. The link to Discord is in the video description, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another episode of SnowRunner. Thank you all very kindly for watching, and I'll see you guys there. Bye for now.